All right, so what I think about from the man from Toronto. Basically, you got this guy by the name of Teddy Jackson. He's trying to open up this gym, this non-contact boxing gym, which is basically like shadow boxing. This experiment failed something terribly. He's passing out all these flyers to get people to support, but ain't nobody taking this shit serious. He pitches his ideas to the guy he's working for, this dude named Marty, and eventually he ends up firing him because the shit ain't working. For one, when he was giving out these flyers, he didn't even have the address on it or a phone number. So like, how do people go to contact him? Meanwhile, we got this scene with Woody Harrelson coming in with his car called Deborah, and he is legitimately the man from Toronto. He's got this situation where he threatens this dude. He tells him this story about a bear on a frozen lake story. Trust me, that shit, yeah. And the other guy ends up getting duffed by somebody else and brought him over there to the table. So now Teddy and his girl, Lori, supposed to be having like a little birthday celebration or whatever like that. So he planned this trip in Virginia to go to this cabin, you know what I'm saying? Get a little spa treatment, all that good shit, right? Meanwhile, the man from Toronto goes back to his spot. He's got like cash and everything stashed all up in the house and whatnot. Professional status. And he's talking to this lady that's about to give him a $2 million job. So he's like, okay, I'm listening. What's good? The job so happens to take place in Virginia. You can kind of see where this is going, right? So Teddy and Lori get to the spot. They got to go to the cabin, right? But the information on the paper came out blurry at certain spots. Now, the place Teddy was supposed to go to was 1465, but he ends up going to 1485 because he can't read the shit on the paper. Guess where the $2 million situation is supposed to take place? In room 1485. Teddy ends up getting there first. They said this man tied up down in the basement with two other dudes. Somehow Teddy ends up getting the codes from this man. FBI comes busting in. Teddy thinks he's about to get away, but then he ends up getting caught too. But they realize he's not the man from Toronto. So the thing is, they want him to pretend to keep being the man from Toronto so they can lead him to this dude named Marin. So basically, the real man from Toronto's got to follow him. He catches up with him too on this airplane because apparently Teddy's got to go to DC. But first he ends up talking to this chick that ends up taking him to Puerto Rico. The chick he talks to actually is the one that played that Spanish police officer in the show called Power. Oh, I forgot her name. Anyway, all these niggas battling on the airplane. Everybody gets deaded except for the man from Toronto and Teddy, so there you go. So the only reason Toronto doesn't kill Teddy is because he needs him to be the man from Toronto. So getting the codes is one thing, but there's another part to this mission. They gotta find some guy named Mr. Green. Unfortunately, there's 4 people claiming to be Mr. Green. So Teddy's gotta pretend to figure out he's the man from Toronto. He's gotta figure out which one is Mr. Green. The man from Toronto actually has a headpiece in his ear so he could tell Teddy was good. A lot of mayhem happens, but they end up finding out who he is. But the thing is, they really don't need Mr. Green. They actually need his thumbprint. Because that and the access codes access themselves to like some type of money or something, I guess. Guess the money's in a tightly guarded suitcase. So Toronto says, fuck all that. I'm just going to cut off his thumb and put it in a bag. Like, there you go. But apparently the handler that Toronto talks to, she sent in the man from Miami. And he causes mad problems. And he's literally stalking him throughout the rest of the movie. So at the time, we all thought Deborah was the name of Toronto's handler. But it was actually the name of his Dodge Charger. Everybody else still thought it was the name of the handler. So anyway, a lot of mayhem goes down. Let's just get to the end of it. Toronto realizes he's been double-crossed. Deborah and the man from Miami go to actually meet Marin. They're about to put in the codes and do all this. And Teddy comes in acting like Toronto, and then Toronto's with him. Acting like he was the driver there or something. Next thing you know, more mayhem breaks out. FBI busts through there again. They end up capturing Marilyn. Toronto dips out with the money. Teddy just dips out. Lori's feeling some type of way because Teddy missed the celebration birthday again or whatever. So it gets to a point Teddy goes back home. This girl Lori's telling him she's about to be on the train to get to the spot at like 4 o'clock. But of course he doesn't want to leave, so he's about to go meet her at the train. Meanwhile, the man from Toronto got his money. Deborah calls talking about she about to murk Teddy. Then she calls up the squad. Men from Moscow, men from Miami, men from Tokyo, men from this, that, the third, everywhere. So is the man from Toronto gonna help him? What's he gonna do? Teddy gets pulled up on from the man from Miami. The man from Toronto comes back to save his life. And then they deal with a whole rambunctious of niggas. Bottom line, they can't get it done. Deborah comes back herself with a rocket launcher, start rocket launching niggas. She ends up catching them in the warehouse. She gets outsmarted and gets dumped in a bottle of acid like she's the fucking Joker. Done deal, that is shit. Toronto tells Teddy to take the charger and go get back your wife, Lori. So throughout this heartbreaking moment, he didn't even realize he left Deborah, the charger, on the tracks and then ended up getting smoked. Then the cops come get Teddy and the FBI and whatnot. 1 year later, Teddy and Lori getting themselves together. They about to have a kid. They're in Toronto. Speaking of that, they're at Toronto's restaurant. He's chilling with his girl. Just happens to be Penny from Big Bang Theory. Yeah, she's on this shit too. She was Lori's best friend in the movie. But anyway, everything ends happily, but Toronto's still pissed at Teddy about this charger. And there you go. Action movie at its finest. It's about almost 2 hours long. I say if you get a chance, check it out. I mean, like, come on. It's Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson with a couple of cameos. I swear I feel like Deborah is like an older version of Cameron Diaz. I don't think it's her, but I can't put my finger on who I think it is. But anyway, check it out on Netflix. You already know what time it is. Yeah.